Good evening, guys, and welcome to another episode of Old Fiddles New Life. This is a What's Ahead episode. Um, we're going to go kind of backtrack here and kind of go way back in the story. Back when we were living over in Pittsford, Vermont, many, many years ago, I had a marvelous wood stove, and I used to burn wood all the time. And they would deliver me a couple, I think about 6 cords of wood for every winter. That's what we had to buy. But out of that wood, I came up with a lot of beautiful curly maple. And obviously, curly maple is what you use to build your sides and your back and your neck, neck and scroll of a curly maple. And so what I did is this wood would come in, I would take it and set it aside, wax the ends of it so that it doesn't splint, it doesn't begin to crack out on the ends as it's drying. And then I laid it aside and was aging this wood, and I had quite a bit of it. And I was really looking forward to making a violin or viola. As a matter of fact, I had the wood set aside, the top wood set aside to make a viola. Well, anyway, long story, we moved. And when we moved, that wood got left behind. And I've kicked myself 1,000 times. Okay, it's a done deal. I don't have the beautiful curly maple anymore to make all the pieces of a violin or viola. And so something came up recently that now they're making violins, mainly violins, in China. And I know, it's tempting to say, well, what good can come out of China? But here's the thing. Um, what they're making, from what I can tell, what they're making these violins out of looks to be pretty good wood. I mean, the pictures. I bought one of the more expensive ones. I mean, they make them. I don't know how many they make at a time, but there's a bunch. And so I paid $166 for mine, which is one of the more pricey ones. And I'm hoping that equivalent comes to the equivalent of being a really decent quality wood in it. From what I can tell from the pictures of what I ordered, it has really nice curly maple back and sides, and a fairly good spruce top. One of the things that you just can't get anymore, almost, unless you're a professional violin maker who is going out and buying what they call soundwood, is really good quality spruce that they use for the top. Anyway, from what I can tell, this looks to be a fairly good quality instrument. Well, for about the last 4 or 5 days, I've been following this. It's by the way, it's already left China, but I've been following it as it goes from one location to the next, to the next, to the next. Well, finally today, it was gone to a plane, and so it is flying to the United States now. Apparently, they have a stopover in Anchorage, and I've been following it. They have a very good way of following your order as it's making its way through the shipping. And so I've really been kind of enjoying this, and I expect they'll probably be landing in Anchorage before too long. They're coming from China over to Anchorage and then on into the United States, probably California, and then it gets shipped across to me. And theoretically, I should have my violin by, at the latest, July 10th. And actually, at the rate it's coming, I think I'm probably going to have it a good bit before that. So, okay, so what I've been doing in the meantime is I have been studying like crazy how to do varnishing and sizing. Sizing is where you pre-treat all your wood, both inside and outside of the wood, to seal it, so that as you're putting your varnish and your finishes on, it doesn't seep in directly into the wood. Here's the thing. Varnishes and color go into maple very, very different than they go into spruce. And so what you're wanting to do as you're getting this, preparing this instrument for varnish and so forth, is to make sure that you are sealing it in such a way that you're going to get an evenness of color all the way through the instrument, whether it's the top, the sides, or the back, or the scroll, all these things. And so that's what I've been doing, is studying it. I've got it pretty much down to two things. One of them is kind of the old-fashioned, using the egg white. And I'm trying to remember what's the other stuff. I've got the chemicals, so I already ordered it. And you make it. I'm not going to go into here because you're going to see it as I'm doing this when I get the instrument. But anyway, it's going to be kind of fun. I'm really excited about it. And what we're going to do, I'm going to be taking you through all of it and explaining it. And because I've really studied it hard, and I've joined a forum where I've been getting a lot of answers from professional violin makers and so forth, and kind of interacting with them and talking about all this to get known violin makers and their input into what is the best way to do this. If you go to my episode on the Neuner and Hornsteiner violin, and this one of my old episodes, check it out, okay? Matter of fact, I'll probably put it in the link. If you go to that episode, you'll see the old Neuner and Hornsteiner that I did, and that was an 1883 instrument that had been stripped, and you probably remember this. It had been stripped right with no varnish on it at all. And basically, because it was all one even color from the first, version of it before the guy stripped it, I was able to go ahead and just varnish it. And I do very, very well with varnishing. If you look at that instrument, that's 13 coats of fine oil varnish. 13 coats, sanded very carefully in between every coat. And then after, and the last couple of coats, I did oil and rotten stone, which is a very, very, very fine powder that you use to get that beautiful glow in the instrument. Check it out. Check it out. And you'll see the kind of work I'm capable of. This is very different because we're taking a white violin with no varnish and having to start right from scratch. And so that's what I'm really excited about, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to switch this over, and I'm going to show you some pictures of this white violin that I've got coming. At least I hope this is how it's going to look. This is the picture that they give of what I ordered for $166. So, all right, guys, thanks. I'm going to turn this over, play a little music here on the side, let you see that, and I'm really looking forward to this. This episode is called What's Coming, okay? And it's still coming. It's in the air right now, getting to America from China, and I'm really looking forward to this. So thank you for coming by Old Fiddles New Life, and we'll pick up from here. I'll probably do one more little part of this video after you see the pictures, and hope you enjoy this. This is something I'm really looking forward to. Okay, so what do you think of that? Let's put it this way. I hope what I receive after the long journey from China over through the skies, into Anchorage and then on down to here and all the way across the country. Let's put it this way. I hope that what I'm getting after all that long journey is going to look as good as what those pictures are that I just showed you. Because if they are, it's going to be pretty nice, working with that nice of wood to make something that's really beautiful and hopefully really good sounding. One more thing. They say that these violins are notoriously, probably have not been very carefully thicknessed. In other words, the thickness of the top and the back. And what I'm probably going to have to do is to re-thickness. I'm going to have to take the top off. I'm going to have to go in and do both the top and the back to try to get down to the proper thickness to be responsive and have good sound flowing through it. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to order a thicknesser, thickness gauge, and it'll be my first time ever using that. So, hey guys, this is all going to be fun. Looking forward to it. Hope you'll join me as we get this thing here. I'll let you know as soon as that violin comes in. We'll take a look at it. Okay. Thanks for coming by Old Fiddles New Life. Take care. Bye.